Hello. In this in-class activity, we are going to learn how to calculate probability using the classical technique of probability calculation. As you may have seen from the class reading material, the classical probability calculation use the total number of possible outcomes from certain experiments as denominator and use the total number of possible outcomes that we are interested in as numerator. And then you divide the denominator into the numerator, you obtain the probability. Now let's apply this principle in the following questions. Now I said that you need to show your work. You just cannot write down a probability number. This involves that you need to express the probability correctly with the correct format to show that the statement. Also, in case when you have 2 or 3 trials experiment, you need to show the process through which you get the result. Okay, I'll explain later on what you need to show as part of your work. First, let's look at questions that involves one trial. That is, we conduct an experiment only once. Question 8. Toss a coin. What is the probability of getting a head? Here is a formula we use to express a probability succinctly. P here means probability. In parentheses, getting a head is a statement. Okay, let's show what kind of a probability. Okay. Now, when you toss a coin, what is the total possible outcomes that you can possibly get? You have 2, right? Either head, either tail. So the total possible outcomes of tossing a coin is 2. But the outcome that we are interested in is a head. So there's only one way that a head can occur. So therefore, we calculate the probability of getting a head by using 2 as denominator and 1 as numerator. You can just express this probability as 1/2, or you can express that as a decimal. Okay. Either way is correct. B. Roll a die. What is the probability of getting a 5? Now you write this statement of a probability correctly, such as this. Now, a die has 6 sides, 1, 2, 3 through 6. So the total number of possible outcomes of rolling a die is 6. Now, how many ways you can get a 5 by rolling a die only once? Just one way to get a 5. Therefore, the probability of getting a 5 in rolling a die is 1/6, or you can express that as decimal. Okay. C. From a deck of playing cards, what is the probability of getting an ace? First, write down the probability statement. Now, a deck of playing cards has 52 cards, and there are 4 aces in playing cards. So total number of possible outcomes when you take a card is 52. And how many ways to get an ace? 4 ways to get an ace. Therefore, the probability of getting an ace from a deck of playing cards is simply 52 as denominator and 4 as numerator. Okay. 4 over 52. After that, you simplify to 1 over 13. We can just keep this a fractional number to express probability. D. What is the probability of drawing a spade from a deck of well-shuffled cards? Again, of the 52 cards, how many ways you can get a spade? There are spades 2, 3, 10, jack, so on and so forth. So there are 13 different ways to get a spade from a deck of playing cards. Okay. Therefore, the total number of possible outcomes if you draw a card from a deck of playing cards is 52, and there are 13 different ways to obtain a spade. Therefore, the probability of getting a spade is simply 13 over 52, and you simplify that to 1 over 4. Okay. E. Draw a ball from a bag of 3 balls. In this bag, we have a red ball, a white ball, and a blue ball. Now, what is the probability of getting a red ball? Of the 3 balls, 1 is red. So if you randomly draw a ball from the bag, you have 3 possible outcomes. But there's only 1 way to get a red ball. Therefore, the probability of getting a red ball is simply 1 over 3. F. Draw a ball from a bag of 5 balls. So in this bag, we have 2 red, 1 white, 1 green, and 1 blue ball. What is the probability of getting a red ball? Now, if you randomly draw a ball from the bag, there are 5 balls in the bag, so there are a total of 5 possibilities. Okay. Of 5 balls, 2 are red, so there are 2 possible ways to get a red ball. So the probability of getting a red ball is 2 over 5. Question 2. Here are questions that involve 2 trials. We conduct an experiment twice. A. Toss a coin twice. So this is what we mean by conduct an experiment twice. One experiment is toss a coin. Now you do it 2 times. That means that you conduct an experiment twice, and that is what we call 2 trials. Okay. So toss a coin twice. What is the probability of getting 2 heads? Now, since this is a process that a little bit more complicated than the questions that we have done before, let's use some visual device to help you to understand this process. Okay. Let's say that let's toss a coin in the first round. In the first round, so this is a we express this statement, the probability of getting two heads. Let's toss a coin the first time, the first round. First round, when you toss a coin, what are the two possible outcomes? You either get a head, either get tail. Either get a head, either get tail. Okay. Then we toss the coin the second time. Now imagine if the first time you get a head, when you toss the coin again in the second round, what are the possible outcomes? You know, the first time you got a head. First time you got a head. So when you toss the coin again, what is the possibility that you can possibly get? Well, the first time you get a head, the second time again, you either get a head or you get a tail, right? Okay. Now, if the first time you got a tail, then you toss a coin again. What are the possibilities? Again, you either get head, you either get tail. Okay, now we toss the coin 2 rounds. Now let's summarize the total possible outcomes of tossing the coin 2 times. Let's summarize the possible result. If first time you get a head, second time you also get a head, now you have a scenario of head and head. If the first time you got head, second time you got a tail, now you have a scenario to have head and tail. If the first time you got a tail, and the second time you got a head, you got a tail and head. If the first time you got the tail, and the second time you got the tail again, now you have a combination of tail and tail. So in total, you have 4 possible outcomes after tossing a coin twice. Which is the outcomes that we are actually interested in? We are interested in the outcome that has 2 heads. This one. And how many times, how many ways we can obtain 2 heads? And there's only one way. Therefore, the probability of getting 2 heads is the total number of possible outcomes that you can possibly get. That is 4. And that is your use as denominator. And also the number of outcomes that we are interested in, and that is 1. So the probability of getting 2 heads is simply 1/4.